Hi guys, Emma here and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I will be testing out the Canon EOS R. Now when I say test out, I only really had a day with this camera, so if you're expecting a full-on technical review, going through all the specs and unboxing it and testing out every single capability, that is not this video, I'm afraid, as I didn't really have a lot of time with it to really play with it and get used to Canon's first full-frame mirrorless camera. So I did take it out for the day to Gloucester Cathedral. So I typically shoot with a Canon 5D Mark III, and before that my first full-frame camera was an original 6D. So I'm very familiar with the Canon system, but this is their first full-frame mirrorless camera, which came out in 2018. The Canon EOS R has 30.4 megapixels. It has 5,655 autofocus points, and that is with 88% horizontal and 100% vertical coverage. And because this model is also touchscreen, it means that you can adjust each focus point anyway. One thing they've taken from a lot of Canon crop frame DSLRs is the flip screen. This definitely makes it easier for people who primarily work in video or if they're vloggers. It has an ISO sensitivity of 100 to 40,000. It is capable of 4K and full HD video. And of course it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as well as GPS. You can do up to 8 frames per second shooting, so that's 5 frames per second with continuous autofocus, 3 frames per second with tracking priority mode. Of course, I'm not going through all the technical information. You can find all of that on Canon's official website. And as I said before, this isn't a full-on tech review. This is just me testing it out, seeing how I got on with it, and showing you guys the images and the video that I produced. I thought Gloucester Cathedral would be an ideal place to test it out. Its grandeur, its size, its detail, the colours, and due to the varying levels of light in the cathedral, I thought this would be a good opportunity to test out the low light capabilities of this camera. So as well as the camera itself, I did take out the 24-70 RF mount lens, and I really like this lens. It gives such a rich depth of field and sharpness, so a lot of the closer stuff, sort of like focusing in on little details and little chips in the marble, it performed really well actually. What I liked about this camera, I like the fact that it was really light and the lens and camera balanced each other out perfectly. I love the depth of these images, I love the sharpness. I also love how it was able to focus so well and so quickly and accurately in low light. There's also great control customization. Its silent shooting is really nice, however there's no continuous shooting in silent. The multi-function bar is programmable, and it's the same with the lens. There's a ring on the lens which you can use to set the aperture. It's completely customizable basically. It also has a really cool face detect function, so I'm definitely going to take this camera out again and use it for more street photography. I think that would be really cool. It also has the same batteries as Canon's full-frame cameras, so the battery for the 6D, the 5D, they're the same. The hot shoe mount is also the same, so you can use your Canon flashes. And you can get the EOS R with an adapter ring, so you can use your EF lenses on the RF mount. The flip-out screen I found was really useful. However, I think I would have probably preferred a tilt screen as opposed to a flip-out screen, especially when shooting in difficult angles. But in terms of things I didn't like from my day of shooting, a lot of them were just teething issues because this was my first time actually taking it out with me. The multifunction touch bar was one thing that I thought was a bit jarring, and I remember when testing out a demo of it originally, I kept knocking it and accidentally scrolling through images. It's just strangely placed, but I think it's a nitpick. It's supposedly ergonomic. Also, it's not full frame 4K video, the 4K is cropped, which is why I didn't really bother with it, to be honest. I just stuck to HD. It can do 120 frames per second, but that has to be in 720p. There's also only one SD card slot, which I would have really preferred if this camera was dual slot. There's also no joystick to set the autofocus. There's also no in-body image stabilization, which, depending on what kind of photography you do, can really be a deal breaker for you. I am pretty pleased with the video and photos from this camera. I'd love to know what you guys think of the Canon EOS R, if you've had a chance to test it out or not. Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you for watching as always. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You can also check out my social media pages. I will leave the links in the description down below. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.